Thanks to everyone who's joining us for our town hall Zoom. So I want to do, as usual, just a couple updates to let you know what's happening on campus. Hi, Phoebe. Thanks for joining. Nice to see you. And then we'll take some questions. So I've been getting some messages from parents who are upset about tuition increase, or not tuition increases, pardon me. Just they're upset given the announcement of spring being virtual, that tuition costs are remaining the same. And I just wanted to speak to that quickly and explain kind of how the tuition is set for all of the state campuses and explain why the fees aren't going down, the tuition and fees at this point. So basically, like, this is a very simplified version, but basically the Board of Trustees is the group that controls the CSU policies, and they set the tuition and fees for all of the 23 campuses. So whether students attend San Diego State, Cal Poly Pomona, Chico State, Sac State, Channel Islands, Cal Maritime, Monterey Bay, tuition and fees are the same at all of our 23 campuses. And the most significant costs are going to personnel, so paying the people associated with the campus and their benefits, or I should say our benefits. Instruction costs aren't going down, and so it's not appropriate to charge less. And if we did, it would basically mean a lot of layoffs, and then that would lead to fewer classes being offered, which would result in longer time for your student to graduate. So that's a very oversimplified version. And I have some formal language if any of you would like to see a letter from President Nelson, but that's kind of the overview on, you know, why tuition and fees aren't going down at this time. So I do think that we covered last time that Sac State and the other CSUs will be virtual in the spring. I know that that's gotten some mixed reviews from people, but you know, I hope by now you and your students are planning for what that means for housing. I wanted to give you a heads up in terms of registration dates for your students for spring, and what that means for their timeline. So your students are going to register for classes for spring starting November 23rd. That's the first date for seniors. So it's based on how close they are to graduation. They get to register first. So if you've got a first year student who's a freshman who hasn't accrued a lot of units yet, they'll probably be registering around the first or second week of December. It ends December 22nd, but that's important because that's going to be very close to finals, and your students are going to be stressed out right then. And so we want them to really plan their courses and make sure that they have spoken with an academic advisor and that they are taking strategic classes for spring. We don't want to have them wait until, you know, right after Thanksgiving and, you know, November 30th, they're scrambling to finish their coursework, study for finals, and choose the classes they need to take. So let's help them plan ahead. And I wanted to show you what the academic advising website looks like and how easy it is to make an appointment. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. And, you know, if your student brings it up to you, you can say, oh, I saw how to make an appointment with academic advising. It's really easy. So this is the page for academic advising. And I literally just typed in, you know, CSUS academic advising. And this comes up. And then here on the homepage is this link that says schedule an appointment. And it tells you their business hours. So your student, when they schedule an appointment, it's going to be, they even have appointment times in the evening up until 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then even on Saturday from 11 to 12. So your student just clicks here. and they can select from a drop down advising, and they would want to do academic advising. And then if they're a first year, they could click on first year, and then let's see what happens next. And then, you know, they're not really going to go in, but they're going to be talking with the academic advising center. And then they're fine. They don't have to put a person's name. They can just click next.
So
and
Haley,
then
they can schedule those appointments now, even though
yeah,
it's in December. That
yeah, they can schedule them now. So here's what's interesting. And then they would just, you know, click their appointment time there.
Mhm.
So the students might want to, let's see, October is a really good time to do it. They are required to have an academic advising appointment as a freshman, but there's no enforcement mechanism. So they don't put a hold on the students' accounts. We used to do that, and it created a lot of problems. We want your students to register for classes. We want them to be informed about how to choose the right classes, and talking with an academic advisor is the best way to do that, especially for our freshmen who maybe don't know what's a strategic class. And what I mean is a class that maybe counts for 2 or 3 requirements. So instead of taking 2 or 3 classes, they can take 1 class and knock out 2 or 3 requirements. Sometimes courses have to be sequenced. So it's pretty easy. Any questions on academic advising or making an advising appointment? Okay, great. Well, that's it for our updates at this point. So.
Sorry, can I ask just a quick question on the advising?
Yeah, sure, Jennifer.
Does the student get notified? I mean, I have a freshman, so does he get an email that says you have to have advising?
He does.
Okay.
He does, but you know, there's a lot of email, and students don't always read their email.
Well, that's true.
They'll also, once they make the appointment, they'll get a text reminder. So that's nice. Any other questions? Ingrid, what are you thinking about? Phoebe, what are you thinking about?
I do have a question, actually. So I have one freshman at Sac State and one at Cal Poly, and it's been interesting to kind of see the differences. I was just curious, on the Cal Poly side, there's like a, I guess a report that my son was able to give me access to that kind of gives me insight into financial aid and all kinds of stuff. Is there something similar on the Sac State side?
There's not. So is it Cal Poly Pomona or Cal Poly San Luis Obispo?
San Luis Obispo.
Okay.
And it was the kind of thing, I guess for FERPA, he had to go in, choose what he wanted me to be able to have access to.
Oh, the
and
FERPA
then
form.
yeah, and then so I guess what I can do is I can go into the link, and then when I click on that link, it'll just show me the latest for whatever those areas are that he selected.
Yeah, so it's called a parent portal, and we've had, I've worked at Sac State for 8 years, and this has been a discussion for 8 years. Should we buy it? Should we not buy it? But we don't have it. We haven't done that. Chico State has it, and when I first started and I was, you know, talking with people about how to make this a successful program, Chico State said parent portal will change your life. So I was really tried.
Yeah.
But we do not have that at Sac State.
Okay, good to know. If you guys are taking votes, I would vote for yes. It does make things very helpful. I'm not having to bug him to kind of see, did this go in? Did that go in? What's the latest on that? So I just plug for that.
Thanks, Phoebe.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So November 23rd date, that is actually for everyone spring, or I have a junior right now. So should he be doing the November 23rd registration for spring?
Yeah, if he's a junior, then he should plan a little bit earlier. I don't think it'll be as early. So graduating seniors will be that first day, November 23rd. In their student center, a date about maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the date, it will pop up in their student center. It will say your assigned registration date is, you know, and probably for your junior, it will be around November 30th.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, I have another question.
Sure.
I put on my calendar, I guess there's like a parents weekend in October. Just curious if you guys were still planning to do anything. Is it virtual only? Just want to know if we should hold it.
That's a great question. So right now, I don't have plans to host family weekend virtually. Typically the festivities are around homecoming, and we have, it's a really social weekend. It's an event heavy weekend. And so we usually have a reception at a restaurant called Zocalo near campus, and we rent the back patio. And, you know, we invite you and your students to come, and sometimes it's just the parents, sometimes it's parents with students. And then Saturday we have a tailgate, and there's, you know, the whole parking lot is like filled with the tailgate, and then we all go to the football game together. And I just feel like I'm on my computer a lot every day, and I could create a social activity for family weekend, but it seems kind of, I don't know. I just thought it didn't, I felt like it would be a forced fit. But what do you all think? What would you like?
Well, obviously I'd like something. I'm not sure what, you know, because you do have friends, and it's usually the parents more than the students, just like with graduation and stuff like that. The parents are more upset, I think, than the students. But, you know, you have friends that, you know, they just went to Texas to their family weekend, or, you know, it's just like with the students with graduation, it's something that parents look forward to. So whether we wait and hope that things change, you know, and still have something the way you usually do, I don't know, it just might be a thought, but we just don't know, because everything's out of our control. But I agree with you, we're on our computers so much, every day, all day. You know, I can't wait till every day at 5 when I can get off. And then you still have to do your personal stuff. Oh, financial aid, attention, email, or, you know, so you're still on the computer. So, but yeah, I guess I'd prefer the computer rather than nothing, but I also like the idea of trying to wait out to see, is there some way that we can still be together with the parents, with other parents and things. That's just my opinion.
Thanks, Ingrid. I see a message from Debbie. Debbie says, my husband and I went when our daughter was a freshman. It was wonderful. It just would not be the same virtually, I think. Right, Debbie. Phoebe, what do you think? Or what were you, what have you been thinking as you've thought about that?
Well, we, just because it's on the mind, so Cal Poly, they're planning a whole week of virtual events. I don't know what they're going to do. They offered like a swag bag of parent branded stuff that you could buy. I guess there's a discount. I feel the same. I'm on the computer all day long. At the same time, like Ingrid, if there's something connected to the school, I feel like I want to participate, like even, like in this session. Maybe there's something to be said about just having like a I don't know, like a parent weekend in a box, right? Here's a discount we arranged at this hotel or this restaurant, where that offers outdoor dining, and here's a place where you can snap a picture even though other parts of campus are closed. Or maybe there's just a way to kind of do a choose your own adventure that doesn't require everybody being in together, but you still get an experience of visiting your student, and even if you can't go into the dorm and that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Put us all on the football field.
Right.
Separated,
6 feet apart.
6 feet apart on the football field, all the parents were waving to each other, texting like the kids. Yeah, I just need warning because obviously I have to drive to Sacramento from Southern California.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. So I get
Yeah,
enough heads up.
exactly. Me. I would have to drive from Southern California also.
Okay, carpool.
Just figuring, just
And the idea behind a choose your own adventure is like you choose the weekend that works best for you to go up, but here are some things that you can do or some things that's arranged in the local
Yeah.
community. Um,
But
That's
yeah,
a great
part of it is
idea.
meeting other parents too, I think too, and sharing experiences, especially in this
Yeah.
new way of schooling. I can hear it from the employee side working at a Cal State, but and sometimes those sides don't agree, because we hear people saying, oh, why are we paying the same tuition? Yeah, I'd like a discount. Oh, wait, I don't want to get laid off, so
Yeah.
I'm straddling that fence of the Cal State right now. And so, and if I get laid off, she might have to come home, that kind of stuff. So it affects a lot of things, all the things that people talk about. And, I haven't been paying attention to how Cal Poly is taking care of their parent weekend. And so I'm not sure what they're doing. Or Cal Poly Pomona.
I will say this, Phoebe, I don't know if it matters to you, but Cal Poly San Luis Obispo has their parent program has 4 permanent staff members and like 5 student assistants.
Yeah.
And
That
so
must make a
like this
difference.
is,
Yeah,
me.
and the students are doing all that virtual setup because that's
Yeah.
what we do when we get that stuff. We're like, oh, here, give it to the student assistant. They know more about what they like and planning things online.
I'm curious if we have anyone on our call who has a student living at home, because as I think about like family weekend and what it's for, what does it mean for, most of our students are living at home. What does it mean for the students that are at home with their families? Like typically we say, when I usually meet people at orientation, I'll say, homecoming and family weekend is 6 weeks into the semester, and 6 weeks is far enough, or it's about 6 weeks. It's just far enough in where students have gotten the hang of college and they maybe know enough to be a little bit nervous, or they know enough that they're now a little confused. And if they have moved away from home, they're also probably feeling a little homesick, and they may not tell you that. But we know that that's the case. So it's a really good time to visit. I don't know. So I have another question now also for Miss Christine and for Ingrid. Are you planning on visiting anyway?
Well, my husband's there this weekend. He came up because her laptop finally came. And so because we thought she'd get it before she left, it was coming home. And then it came home, but she's now in Sacramento because we thought she was going to be home for school. And then after she got a dorm, she's like, I want to go. So she left and her computer wasn't here yet. So he's there, and I could tell she was excited that he was going up. And they're, spending some time together. But yeah, I was waiting to see. I told her, I'm waiting to see if there is a family event. I don't want to come and then I have to turn around and come again. Because, and knowing that, like I said, talking to other parents from high school who are going to these events, on the East Coast and places like that, I said, although I'm in California, I still have to plan and give my cousins a heads up that, guess what? I'm moving in for a couple of days or whatever,
Moving in for the weekend, yes.
Yeah, make room for me and my friends or whatever,
And our plan is more than likely not, because he is up here with us. He doesn't really know about going back into the dorms right now. I figured that since we have him here at home, we can kind of miss 1 year, just 1 year of without the football and tailgate. But they got to get everything done so we can be there next year. Yeah.
I know this being virtual really affects the first year experience because they get to meet each other and be together and, meet new people. and learn to interact with one another. By the time they go to second year, I mean, there will be new people starting every year and every semester, because we have transfer students as well. But it'll be interesting to find out how it affects them, you know, to come the second year or third year. Who knows what's going on with this crazy thing? But
Exactly.
yeah, it's a book to write, I tell you. The effects of it on the students, their parents, the world, how they interact when they graduate and go out into the world. Will, you know, not being as social.
Yeah, I have a freshman who's at home, and it's been kind of frustrating in that he, you know, every class is online, so he's not really meeting anyone new. He still hangs out with his, you know, high school friends who are all at home as well. And it's just, it's not the he doesn't know better, but it's not the college experience that I envisioned for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that connection to campus. I mean, we've set foot on campus, but not for school purposes. So it's kind of hard to have a connection to school when you're not there.
Yeah, one good thing with her being there, I think it was last week, she became a part of a sorority. So now she's like, oh, I have my sister. Because the one student she knew from her high school is on basketball. So she had her own group of people, and they have to kind of, I guess they're kind of staying together. So she's like, oh, I know so-and-so, but then it didn't matter because she's with her basketball group. So with the sorority, you know, she's at least meeting them one at a time, you know, like at a coffee shop or somewhere like that. So that's getting her out more, because that was my concern in our last call, that she already isolates, and now she's in a room by herself. She's just like, cool, you know, I'm just gonna stay in here. And she might leave to go get food, and she might not, or she'll try to stock up that she doesn't have to go out again, you know. So she hears people in the hallway, and I'm like, you should open your door, say hi. No, I'm good, you know. So
for those of you who have students who have cars, El Dorado County is just east of Sacramento, and El Dorado County's rates of COVID are pretty low. And there's a lot more that's open in El Dorado County. So it's our neighbor, it's not a far drive. There's a place that a lot of people like to go called Apple Hill, and it's very outdoors. There's like outdoor marketplaces. So it's kind of like a seasonal farmer's market where there's a lot of apples, apple donuts, apple pie, apple, you know, everything. And it's very fall. So if your student does have a friend, or they're even close by, or you are thinking about coming to visit, that would be something nice to do. I'm really going to think about this, like choose your own adventure parent weekend in a box. I think we could really do a lot of fun stuff for that.
And it's called El Dorado.
The county is El Dorado County. I'll put it in the chat. Okay. El Dorado County has I think they have restaurants operating with indoor capacity at 50% and outdoor. And Apple Hill is the place up the hill that people like to go to get donuts and see the little pond and the outdoor markets. Yes, Phoebe?
Oh, I was just gonna say, if there's a way to build in some swag into that. My husband bought me a Sac State mom shirt for my birthday this summer, and I think with all the USPS stuff, it just never arrived. And so you know, it's nice. Yeah, we didn't want to. I think he even asked the bookstore again, and there's been some interesting stuff. But you know, it's always nice to have a memento and something that has the Sac State branding on it. So just something to think about, that part.
Yeah, your order never arrived?
It didn't.
Yeah, that is weird.
I need to ask. It was a surprise. So I don't have all the details of it, but I can ask him. And it's just one of those things where, you know, the way the year's been, it's like, you know, the next time we go up, maybe we'll find something at Target or whatever. But
Yeah, we have a mouse pad.
oh, there we go. Exactly.
Yeah, her boyfriend's mom, I don't know, her boyfriend's mom, when she brought her graduation gift over, she had bought me a Sac State mom coffee mug or cup and the mouse pad. So I was like, yay, even though I had already bought myself a t-shirt. I was like, when she finally decided which of the schools she was going to go to, you know, it's like, I'm getting a shirt. So Yeah, it's nice to have that stuff. I can look at it every day, especially now that she's gone.
That's a great idea. I'll definitely talk with the bookstore. They're really fantastic. I've found the manager there is really great at working with us.
Mhm.
So if your husband, I mean, I would be happy to follow up with her if you want to private chat me an email address for you or your husband. But also I will work with her to create a cool swag bag for parents.
Okay, appreciate that. I'll probably reach out separately, Haley. Thank you.
And after you order something, they will email you weekly, if not 3 times a week.
You'll
I
be
get a
on
lot
the
of
list.
emails from the Hornet Bookstore.
All right, everyone. Well, do we have any other questions or comments about Family Weekend?
I'm just glad that Phoebe remembered, because that was the one thing I wanted to talk about and I forgot.
Oh. Well, they were gonna, they overlapped for the two schools. And so, you know, the fact that Cal Poly SLOS was virtual made things easier, but we also were just curious if there was any reason to plan a visit. But we're a Bay Area, so it's not too far for us to drive up. We just need to actually just do it sometime. For us, it was just more of a easier to visit one, not as easy to visit another. How do we make it fair so that they don't feel like one is being visited more often, that kind of thing.
I think we could host a pretty fun, maybe we could do something really small, or, you know, something virtual with parents, and have it be social and get to know each other. We've done stuff before where we do mixers kind of based on where we make sure you meet people who live in your county or live in your region, and be nice to connect that way too.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, that's it for our parent town hall. I'll stick around for a few minutes if you have any questions. And otherwise, happy Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for your time.
Right. I do have one more now that I'm thinking about it.
Sure.
So it looks like move out for the semester is it's in December, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just curious if we should plan to take everything home, or is it likely that my freshman's getting the same room in the spring and don't have to worry about that part of it?
Yeah, I think you will leave a lot of the stuff, but anything valuable or that needs to be washed could come home.
Okay, good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Okay, thanks, Phoebe.
All right. Bye, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Bye.